Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to set this case on September 21st. It's 5 weeks from today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Taylor submitted to the court a progress letter regarding your conditions of your bond and efforts that she's making to supervise you. I gave a copy of that to Mr. Durham to his bond. She had given this about 2 weeks ago because she had some concerns. She's indicating that you're asking for some relaxed conditions on your bond, that you want some of the restrictions removed or want some of them lessened. And every time we come to court, Mr. Govan will get this request that says Mr. Govan is asking for other things. At first it started with you wanted to go clothes shopping, and I think my response was you can have Amazon.com deliver your clothing.
Yes, sir.
You also wanted to go grocery shopping. I told you can call Kroger and they'll deliver your food to your house. And I also got an answer, got a request that indicates that perhaps you want to be given the same consideration of some other folks, and that you think that you want to be permitted to go to work full time. Ms. Govan, you're on bond because all parties agreed to that. Those conditions were set by this court. Those were conditions that all parties agreed to, and I don't see any reason at all why this court should relax those conditions and tell Ms. Govan, we're going to let you go back to being a fully fledged person with no restrictions at all. Go to work when you want to, go shopping when you want to, leave the county when you want to, go to other places when you want to. Ms. Govan, you're on those restrictions for a reason. And part of those reasons is for your own safety. You are probably aware that Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee is the first most violent metropolitan area in the country. This case has generated a substantial amount of publicity. And if you're running around free in Shelby County, Mr. Govan, knock on wood, somebody might be trying to kill you, sir. So it is not in your best interest to say, Judge Coffey, take away all these conditions and let me just do what I want to, go where I want to. And there have been some instances where you were allowed apparently to take a couple of trips. That can't happen anymore because of the conditions of this bond that this court set this bond, and you can't deviate from those conditions unless this court tells you to do so. I'm told by Ms. Taylor that she's having some difficulties in supervising this bond because she had a couple of trips that were approved and was not approved by the court, were not discussed with the court, were not discussed with Mr. Handel Durham, and that's a violation of your bond, Mr. Govan. So I don't know who gave you permission to take those trips to leave Shelby County, but unless you hear from Judge Coffey, don't say anything else. Unless you hear from Judge Coffey and Handel Durham, your attorney of record here, Mr. Rohrer is probably not going to be in on most of these settings, but unless you're in court on the record with Mr. Durham in his court and Ms. Taylor and asking the court for some relief and say, Judge, I need to do certain things, will you please approve it? It cannot be done unless it is approved by this court, Mr. Govan. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And please, please, please stop asking Ms. Taylor, probation management group, if they can relax these restrictions or if they can do certain things or let you go shopping or let you get a job, because she doesn't have authority to do that. Ms. Taylor would do what the court ordered when I entered the bond conditions on this case and placed those conditions under seal. Those are not negotiable. They're not open to discussion. They're not open to change unless Mr. Durham files a written petition in court and says, Judge Coffey, I'm asking that you modify some of these bond conditions. Now, unless Mr. Durham asks for it, Mr. Govan can talk to Mr. Durham and say, will you please address Judge Coffey about doing certain things? He'll do so. But I think what Mr. Durham will tell you is that, Mr. Govan, you should be blessed that you are on bond. The only other resolution for Judge Coffey is to put you back in jail pending a disposition of these charges. Your lawyers have worked, yeomans have done a great job in getting you released on bond until these cases are settled. But I do not intend, and I want you to hear me clearly, I do not intend, unless there's a substantial change, I do not intend to change the conditions of this bond and say, look, I thought about this, we're going to relax this. So unless there's some earthquake can change, something that's significant, that says, Judge, something has come up, we're asking you to modify these bond conditions. Mr. Govan, the bond conditions that were entered when both sides agreed to release you on bond, those are immutable. They would not be changing, sir. It could get worse. It could get more restricted, but they're not going to get any less restricted, Mr. Govan. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Keep working with your lawyer give Mr. Durham, and Mr. Durham will continue to discuss your case with Mr. Manny Aurora. Give them anything that you want them to look at for you. Now, I'll see you back in court on Thursday morning, September 21 at 9. Any questions?
No, sir.
Just go back and step out in the hallway. Don't leave the floor. Mr. Durham will be out in a few minutes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Page 1, Mr. Handel Durham, and Ms. Debbie Taylor. Thank you all.
Thank you.